The first Puritans who settled in New England brought with them passion and conviction in their religious beliefs. Subsequent generations of settlers remained tied to the church, but their piety weakened over time. As settlers turned their focus to the prosperity and day-to-day management of their settlements, the number of conversions, which gave newcomers the right to join the church's elite, decreased. In an effort to reverse this trend, Puritan ministers developed the Halfway Covenant in 1662. This declaration allowed for a new category of members who were converted but did not have full communion rights. In addition, this covenant allowed children of the converted to have church membership even if they had not been baptized. This partial church membership led to greater religious participation, but at the same time weakened the purity of the religion. As members of the church's elite grew increasingly frustrated and concerned about the effects of the Halfway Covenant, these tensions spilled over into the events that would come to be known as the Salem witch trials. As concerns over religious purity were at their pinnacle, members of struggling rural families began to accuse their more successful counterparts of witchcraft. The fear began to spread, and a group of young girls came forward with stories of torment by supposed witches. Although primarily women were accused, some men also fell under the shadow of suspicion. Some of the accused received trials in 1691 and 1692, although many others didn't, and suspected witches were often burned at the stake, hanged, or drowned.
Whereas Bridget Bishop was found guilty of the felonies and witchcrafts whereof she stood indicted, and the sentence of death accordingly passed, cause her to be hanged by the neck until she be dead. Death warrant for Bridget Bishop, signed June 8, 1692.
The hysteria finally ended in 1693, when the governor's wife was accused of witchcraft. The governor intervened, prohibiting further trials and pardoning those who had already been convicted. The governor's declarations were facilitated by a changing mindset among the New England population that encouraged more rational thinking, as the ideas of the Enlightenment spread from Europe to America. The Enlightenment, also called the Age of Reason, is described by scholars as a method of thinking and knowing, based on the presumption that the natural world is best understood through the use of close observation by the human senses, coupled with a reliance on reason. Intellectuals began to see the universe as a place of balance and order, which promoted the analytical revolution found in poetry, music, art, and architecture from this period. The worldview provided by the Enlightenment claimed superiority over what had been the dominant ways of gaining knowledge to that point: revelation, reliance on tradition or traditional authority, and inward illumination. The Enlightenment in Anglo-America was greatly influenced by two revolutionary English thinkers, John Locke and Sir Isaac Newton. Locke, an English philosopher, argued in 1690 the tabula rasa theory of human development. In his Essay on Human Understanding, he proposes that the mind is a blank slate, formed and shaped by its environment and experiences. Newton published his theories on gravity in Principia in 1697, and defined a set of laws that govern nature. Few colonists read Locke and Newton directly, but popularized versions of their theories had a great impact. The Enlightenment had a profound effect on religion. Many Christians found the enlightened view of the world consistent with Christian beliefs, and used this rational thinking as support for the existence and benevolence of God. Preachers incorporated the vocabulary of reason and natural law into their sermons to explain how God works through natural causes. However, the Enlightenment led other Protestants in a very different direction. More liberal Congregationalists, as well as Anglicans, denounced traditional doctrines about the nature of God, arguing he was a benevolent rather than arbitrary deity. They also disputed the divinity of Christ and the process of salvation, arguing that God saves sinners not because he predestines them to grace, but because he foresees the good works they will perform through their own volition. In the colonies, the Enlightenment was embraced by influential colonials who were intent on keeping up with European advancements. Both Americans and Europeans identified Benjamin Franklin as exemplary of the Age of Enlightenment. Throughout his life, Franklin owned a printing press, published Poor Richard's Almanac, which he filled with his colorful maxims, founded a fire company and a library, and helped start a debating club. As a self-taught scientist, Franklin published valuable theories on electricity, medicine, physics, and astronomy. He is also credited with several inventions, including the lightning rod, a glass harmonica, and the Franklin stove. The Enlightenment also had an impact on education. Benjamin Franklin said that genius without education is like silver in the mine, and helped found the College of Philadelphia, which later became the University of Pennsylvania. At the same time, a spate of other learning institutions arose, including the College of New Jersey, College of Philadelphia, King's, Queen's, Brown, and Dartmouth. Though these colleges' primary focus remained to train ministers, the Enlightenment opened up education beyond that single purpose. The Enlightenment's influence on 18th century America was profound. Advances in science and the arts, along with increased religious freedom, carried over into modern society. The focus on balance and order also set the groundwork for an American governing system that included a balance of power.